Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Brenda with Garden Question. So today is a very exciting day. I've been waiting for this one for a while. Today we get to prune our Phantom Hydrangea. This one is from my kitchen window, a very gorgeous sight to see all season long. The blooms on Phantom are huge. They're about that big, I would say. I have a few of them throughout the yard, and like I am new to the whole hydrangea situation, about a year now, year and a half. This will be my second year. But I see so many different varieties that are just so exciting, and this is definitely one of my favorites because it's definitely a standout species in the whole world of hydrangeas, in my opinion. So when we're trimming these beautiful plants, you want to obviously cut off the flower heads first, and then any weak or broken stems. So garden question, what is everyone's favorite time to prune? Because I know there is obviously at the end of the season or the beginning of the season times which you can do that. So when you start to see buds forming, like here now, it would be a good time, I would think. So I will do it now, and hopefully I'm sure everything will be just fine. So when I'm trimming, I like to pull out anything that isn't part of the plant, and then I like to, here's one node here, the bumps are called nodes, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have the flower head. I like to do at least 3 to 4 buds because then it makes for a very large plant, but it's not completely overgrowing the whole space of the situation. These Phantom hydrangeas, from what I've YouTubed and seen with many other video makers, is they grow quite large into their own tree, which is kind of why I planted it here with the ferns and the huge, actually beautiful huge hostas here. I'm also going to be putting in a golden embers hydrangea in this spot as well. This is a volunteer laurel, which is really a sweet addition, but I will be moving that because we don't need it there. And on the other side, I have an oak leaf hydrangea that was mixed with another paniculata. I have a pinky winky over here as well, which you can't see, but you'll see it when I do my next garden tour. So at any rate, let's get on with it. Let's see what we can do. I think I'll bring you in a little closer. So here it is. I haven't named the statue yet, though it is quite pretty. If you have any name suggestions, it'd be lovely to hear it. Okay, so we'll go through and we'll just simply cut the flower heads off first. Not going to worry too much about where I'm cutting. I'm just going to cut directly below the plant. Obviously making sure your trimmers are very sharp. It's a very good idea to dip them in alcohol first if you're using them for other plants, because you don't want any bacteria getting in, causing rot. That one's quite, yeah, I'm just gonna even bring that one back right now. There we go. And so this one is down quite a bit, and as you can see, the look of the plant, I always like to take a step back and see how it affects the look of the plant. Do I want to keep that? Not really. So we'll just come in and we'll cut it back. So when you're trimming, if you don't want anything to come off it ever again, cut as close as you can to the main stem. Away it goes. And there's another little one here too. I think we'll trim that one out. So you just want to go through the whole plant, taking off just the heads. And this can take a little while. That's fine. We've got time. They're so pretty, aren't they? Even when they're dead. Well, technically not dead, but done their prime season. They're still very pretty to look at. I never thought that they were until I started growing them, but now I get it. I see the winter interest, as they call it. Now this one is really cool because you can see those buds forming right there. Move back a bit. So pretty to see the buds. Rejuvenation. We all need a little bit of that. Okay, this one needs to just, because it's got that little extra one there, I'm just gonna cut it back here. Now some people, garden question, cut it on an angle and some people cut straight. What is your preferred method and why? Because I would love to know that. I don't know the answer to that one. Again, the flower head and cut. You can see the stem bud is right there, so we'll just go above. So again, I'm not doing any real rhyme or reason on this one just yet. We'll go in through closer to once we've got all the flower heads off. So I'll bring it back when we've got that part all done. Okay, so we have trimmed off all the flower heads, and I do like the general impression look of the plant as it is without the flower heads on. I think it's well balanced, but it is a bit bushy with sticks. God, it doesn't make any sense to say it that way, but there's a lot of things I think that need to be opened up a bit. So let's come on in here and just take a look. We've got a branch right here that's completely broken. So, and it's going towards the middle, which from what I understand, you don't want to even have happening. So we're just going to come in here and we're just going to cut it off. And here's another one. It's kind of growing towards the middle, but it's outward too. It's not a very strong stemmed branch. So I don't know, that one's a question mark. Again, what would you do? Would you cut it or would you leave it? I think I am going to take it down to the first node. Then I've got kind of half and half situation there. The one on the other side is very, very weak, so I'm just going to cut that right off. Same with over here. We have another weak one. That's attached to this one right here. Very weak. Cut that one off. So when I see weak stems like this one, I don't like to leave too many nodes. I want to go down to the thickest, fullest node, which is down here. Cut. Same with this one. Not very strong. I'm going to take it down to the first node. Now this one is growing back towards the middle on this one. So yeah, we probably don't even want that at all. So I'm just going to cut it out entirely. That's not part of it. That is, and this is. And here's another weak one on this side. Actually, this whole thing's kind of looking a bit weak, so I'm just going to cut it out. This one on this side, looking a bit weak. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, where do you cut? I'm feeling for nodes. I don't feel any. I'm just going to see if we can give this one a rejuvenation and just cut it. What would you do? Garden question. Okay, and on this one, it's fairly weak, so I'm just going to cut that off too. And then on this one, on this side, weak. Cut it off. Oh, look at this one. So I'm just going to cut it off of this and off of this. Now, that's another question I have. When you're dealing with a situation where either side of it is weak, do you just cut it and then hopefully new buds will grow? Definite garden question. If you know the answer, please respond. Because I don't think anyone's really addressed that on the videos that I've seen. But I just say, you know, they say cut the weaker one. So that's what we're trying to do. I don't know if you should cut the whole thing like this off, or cutting off the little ones is enough. Okay, so we see some more weak ones here. This one specifically is not too bad for strength. So I'm just gonna cut it here because I know one is gonna come out. Oh, here's one going towards the middle. It's too bad because it's such a strong stemmed branch. But that's the way it goes sometimes. This one, do we want it or do we not? Balance wise, not really. It's pretty simple. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't. I am taking it down to the first node though. I'm gonna give it a chance. This one, first node too, and I don't like the angle that it's at, so hopefully the next generation of the growth coming up will be better. Taking off the small little pieces. Oh, this one. Sorry, this one. There you are. Right here. I don't really like the look of that one. Question, what do you do? I'm just gonna cut the top off and we'll see. That's the great thing about gardening. It is rather forgiving, and if you make a mistake, it will just grow back again next year. Well, I'm just gonna continue on and I'll show you when we are done the next phase of just trimming it all back in and seeing where we can get it to be and the final look. That's next. Stay tuned. Alrighty, I just finished cleaning up this beautiful Phantom Hydrangea paniculata. As you can see, I've tried to take off the interior wood, and one thing I forgot to mention that's extremely important. When you are cutting your paniculata, you want to make sure that the way that the side nubs are coming out are directly on either side coming out. That way they won't cross into the middle and you won't have to cut them off, and that means you won't lose as many blooms. So you don't want to cut them if they're coming on this side and this side. You do want to cut them. If they're coming off at the sides like this one is, see a nub there on the side and another nub on the side, that's fine to do. And here's another one. You can even see looking straight on where the nubs are. One there and one there. So hopefully this will be all this plant needs, and I've tried to leave 3 to 4 of the nodes, and that will give us a very, very nice sized plant. This will get morning sun and afternoon shade. It's a beautiful spot, and it's kind of right in the heart of the center of the backyard, so it's very much a focal point. All right, well, that is our video today on pruning Paniculata Hydrangea Phantom. I can't wait to show you updates on this plant when it comes to full bloom. It's going to be gorgeous. Alrighty, this is Brenda with Garden Question. Thank you for tuning in today. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.